Hey everybody, this is Herschel Froome from High School Top 200. The 20th ranked team in the country for the National Top 25 is St. Andrews College from Christchurch, and they play in the UC Cup. St. Andrews, I seen quite a bit of them within this preseason, seen them at the Kia 2 preseason camp at St. Paul's Collegiate, and then I saw them also at the quad tournament that they had, the Presbyterian quad, I think it was, Presbyterian one. And I already knew about St. Andrews and what they could do. I knew I knew mainly what to expect from a team like that, because I knew that Jack Rose was coming back. I knew that Jackson Eady was coming back. Eady or yeah, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Eady or Edai. But I knew that they were coming back, and I knew that Thomas Broughton was going to be in there as well, and I knew that front row, and I even wrote about it before, that they were going to be one of the top 5 in the country, and I knew exactly what they were capable of. Because their scrum went so well last year, and granted that Shiloh was there as well at hooker, and Thomas didn't really get a shot, I knew that when you still had props like Jackson and Jack Rose, that they were going to be steady again. And that's exactly kind of what happened this year, is that when those two were in there, and with Thomas Broughton as well, that their scrum just never... They never went backwards, and they never wavered. I think that Jack Rose, because like when you look at Jack Rose, and you can even ask some of the guys that played against him and that saw him at camp and saw him at Presbyterian, when you look at him, he doesn't look like much at all. He doesn't look like a prop. He really doesn't look like he should even be maybe playing in the front row. But then when you see him scrum, and his technique is beating everyone right now. His technique and his leg strength from his bum and thighs, and his foundation in the way that he sets his feet, and then he's got that really flat back. And even on his grip when he reaches out, like he's beating everybody off technique. And it's a matter of time that when he gets his sort of adult body, and that will be when he's like 18, 19, man, he's gonna be such a good prop to watch. And I even think that this year he might push one of those props that I named at the beginning of the year out of that New Zealand secondary school, and I actually think that he might make New Zealand secondary schools as well. He is obviously going to be a working project, and it won't be anything to do with his game. It will just be more about the physicality of his body and the way that his body is made up, and how it's built. And that's kind of all it is I don't really even have a problem with how he plays the game. Like I always take notes, like mental notes, and write notes down in halftime and stoppages and stuff like that. And I don't even think I wrote anything down for him, because I couldn't see where he was supposed to improve on besides his body, and that's not up to him. That's not in his control. That's just nature with that stuff. And so I think that if you get a chance to go and watch these guys, or if your son's team is playing these guys, have a look out for Jack Rose, and watch the way that he plays, and just see if I'm right. Thomas Broughton is a big kid who's fast and mobile, real strong, real physical. Him and Jackson are kind of the same in that way, and those two are like the power guys. Especially Jackson are like the power guys in that front row, and Jackson just brings all that power into that front row as well, and he just holds that scrum steady as well. Seb Corder is is the other backup prop who I like a lot. And if you've seen one of the videos that I did with St. Kennigan's, and he gets popped up, because Seb is only year 11, and he's supposed to, in a way, he's supposed to get popped up. I mean, because he has to learn these things. He doesn't know if he's doing something wrong unless he gets done by it. And then I hope that he sees. I know that he's watched it. I just hope he knows what he's doing wrong, or I hope someone tells him what he's doing wrong so that he can make it better so it doesn't happen again. And I honestly think that it won't happen again. I think he's going to learn from it. I think that he's going to show that he can improve, and that'll be good for him in the next couple of years. And he's only year 11, so it's going to be all right with him. It's going to be right for him. Other guys that I liked was Dom Cornish. Open side, I really liked him. Enjoyed kind of the way that he played, the toughness that he had at open side. Villy was the one. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what his last name is. Fijian kid, Villy, and he. They had like, if you guys saw the video, they were only supposed to be doing, two-hand touch against Kings, and man, he was just running it hard, and I couldn't understand why, and I wasn't too sure if he knew what he was doing, or he just didn't know what that was. But he was just running hard at Kings, and the Kings boys started sort of like looking around, and then one of the Kings boys put a stop to that, hitting one of their guys. But I mean, like, he is a good runner. Villy's a good runner. I think he's a bit raw. Maybe needs to learn the position a bit better. But he's going to give them that offense that they need. He's going to give them that go forward ball and things like that as well. But yeah, maybe a little bit more position education for him, just so he knows how to play it properly and where he can be a lot more effective than just running the ball. You don't want to be just a run the ball kind of number 8, because then everything else starts to fall apart as well when you're supposed to be there. Joel Perry, who's one of the year 11s that I really like as well. I thought he was great. Liam McCormick as well, who's the starting halfback. He's another kid that I thought was pretty cool as well, and the way that he played the game. Dom Clark and Nash Foree. Is he South African? Must be South African. Sounds like it anyway. But Dom and Nash in the midfield, I thought were actually pretty good. I actually liked the way that they played, and I like that they are not your typical crash ball guys, and they play off a lot of space, and they play a lot of outside ball, outside shoulder stuff, things like that. And so I like the way that they approach the game, and sort of how they go through their work, getting the same thing done, just doing it in a different way. I just like the way that they play that way. Hugh Montgomery, a year 11, real tall kid. I heard he was like a pretty good touch player as well, but he's only year 11, and I like him at fullback. I saw him on the wing, and I didn't really care for him too much to be on the wing, but then I saw him at fullback, and I thought, man, this kid is pretty sharp at fullback. I hope that they keep him there, because he is a tall kid. He's kind of a big kid as well, but just his running is so free, and like you could see him sort of his mind ticking over on what he should be doing, and sort of trying to calculate it, and all that kind of stuff will come faster the more experience he gets and stuff like that, and the game will slow down and he'll read a bit more. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how he tracks over the next few years, because like, you never know with a kid like that who has all the physical abilities right now, what he could be like in 2 years, and the improvements that he can make over 2 years. I personally like the real tall kind of fullbacks like him, and that can run and kick, got a massive boot and things like that. I just like that kind of style anyway. But St. Andrews, number 20 in the rankings, and have a watch of them. Check out Jack Rose. Check out that front row of Thomas and Jackson in it. And just let me know what you think. I think they're a pretty sharp team. That's my review. High School Top 200. Peace.